y'all doing? It is Dr. Love Holt, the Pussy Priestess. You know what it is. And I am so happy to be here with you today, lovies. This is my very first episode, pre-recorded, of Talk Coochie to Me, and I am so happy you all decided to join. Thank you for being here. It's really time to give the V-girlies what they need and want, and I'm just the perfect person to give it up, okay? And so, you heard me. This episode is all about me and my couture. That's right. We busting out the premiere episode of Talk Coochie to Me by divulging all of my good, bad, and ugly. So I want you to join me. I'm doing a little skincare today. As you can see, I have some blemishes. I started taking a new probiotic. And that's a mole, but the rest of these are unruly, honey, unhinged, and they must go. And so this is a channel where you have real, raw, candid, factually correct, and even though they sound far-fetched, they will be proven to be right, information about your V, and I'm so happy to be the one to bring it to you. Listen, our conversations will be so empowering. I'm going to give you the history on vaginal health and wellness, underwear, trends, and all of the great things throughout time. I'm going to talk to you about all the herbal remedies, all of the things that you need to do to keep your V-girl world spinning. And of course, I'm going to have all the great stories to tell, my stories as well. But if you'd like to share your own story anonymously or let us know who you are. I'll drop a link inside of the caption for you to go ahead and send us your story and get ready for Couture Chronicles, because it's been far too long, okay? Far too long for us to be able to talk about our body, bodily autonomy, and all those other great things that, make us a woman. And so I just want to introduce myself. This is my introductory episode, darling. My introductory episode. The world knows me as Reverend Dr. Love Holt, reproductive justice advocate, and herbalist extraordinaire. Actually, herbal fertility specialist is what really brought me into this game. And we'll talk about that in a minute, how I got here, why I'm starting this channel, and how you can stay tuned and stay involved, right? And so, I'm a reproductive justice advocate. For those who don't know what that is, it is a movement that was tailored by some amazing Black women to support all LGBTQAI groups, Black and brown women, talk about our sexual and reproductive health, and basically anything that intersects with raising and maintaining a family. And so reproductive justice crosses all intersections, like health, like minimum wage, like paid leave, like LGBTQAI access and freedom and support. So this thing is broad, honey. Broad. And yes, I have been working in that realm of work for quite some time. I just liberated myself from political structures and I am breaking out, honey. And I just want you all to know who you're talking to before you get to tuning in every week like I know you will. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel, baby. Turn on your notification bells, share this video, and let's get into it, okay? So I have a doctorate degree in divinity. I'm actually Reverend Dr. Love Holt. It is nice to meet you. Now, a lot of my journey really for my vaginal health started in the spiritual realm. It started with me searching esoteric things at a very young age and just looking for answers, right? When it came to like spiritual and religious stuff. And then it evolved. It truly evolved into vaginal knowledge and health and wellness. And so I've written so many books. I've led seminars. I've written lectures and dissertations. I have hosted spaces that are trauma informed and allow Black women specifically to express their concerns with their womb issues or share stories about their sexual and reproductive health in front of and with professionals, y'all. So I've got this CDC funded initiative. It's called the Brown Girls Brunch, where the brown girls come together, we brunch, and we talk about our sex life, because they've never given us carte blanche to do that. Like, anytime we have vaginal complications, anytime we have complications as Black people, we're shut down, we're nagging, we are complaining or something crazy. And so that's not this space. This is a safe space. Do you hear me? Because I'm going to be talking about all kind of craziness on here. So don't you feel shy. Don't you feel embarrassed. Let me do the talking. Let me speak for you. Let me be the one on the cutting edge of all this coochie drama. And then you can just know that you're seen and heard in your heart without telling any of your information. Let me do it for you. So this is a safe space. And we do not coochie shame. We do not coochie shame. I will politely evict you from my comment section and my page. I don't care if you subscribe, like, and share. If you get over here coochie shaming, talking about how you ain't never had smelly cat, you ain't never had an angry vagina, you don't know nothing about reoccurring yeast, get off of my page. This isn't for you. Your shit is perfect, but don't let it catch up to you when you're 65 and you know where that smell coming from, and you don't even smell it because your nose blind. Don't be that woman. Anyway, where was I? So I'm bringing these conversations that I've had with medical professionals in front of other women at these CDC-funded initiatives, and I'm bringing them right here to YouTube. We're going to monetize my page by sharing. I need 1,000 followers. So right now I think I'm at like 4 something. But we're going to get it up because we need to monetize this information so I can keep bringing you that free goods, you know. Now, there are many ways that you can get the goods, but I want to make sure that it's accessible and that it is available to everybody, no matter who you are. And so this is the best way to do it, to keep me happy and to keep you happy. You know what I'm saying? So come along with me, okay? Because as a person that is dedicated to this work, I think that it is a full community that we're building. And then I'm going to need all of you, okay? All of your input, insight. Now, don't come over here self-righteous herbalists trying to talk about going to get La Bella and all of these amazing-ass duckweeds and stuff that we cannot find in our local grocer. I am strictly committed to sharing with you the information on how you can get your products for your vaginal wellness at any grocery store, at any corner store, convenience mart, the Dollar Tree. Like, I specialize in making sure you can get your healing even if you don't have any money. So, baby, we're not here for that. Don't come over here. Don't come over here. Don't come over here talking about all that. Oh, you need to go order some herb from Jamaica, Africa. No, Bookie. No, you don't. You need to go to Dollar Tree. You need to get what Dr. Love said, and you need to do what Dr. Love told you to do and live your best coochie life. All right. And so what you can expect from my channel. So talk coochie to me, right? What is it about? I'll let you know. Let me tell you. Let me put you on the inside scoop. So the fascinating history and cultural significance of vaginas, we're going to talk about them right here. Not just now, but across time. From the first time we even can find any history written about vaginas and wombs and health and women. We're going to get into it, honey. We're going to get into it. We're not going to miss any stone. We'll leave none unturned, okay? And if you have anything you would love me to study and know more about, send me an email. Use our form, fill out the form, and let me know what you want to hear. I'd love to answer all of your questions, okay? I'm going to give you practical education about vagina care. That's right. Practical means basically like things you can do and how to do them to implement them into your daily life and apply them in a way that's easy to integrate, okay? Because we're going to bust all the myths to position real vagina knowledge in your mind. And then I'm going to dump all the herbal knowledge and remedies that I have on you. We'll make some of them together. And we're going to experience this together. We're down. You have a friend in me, okay? I'm going to give you tips and tools on how to connect with your womb, your inner goddess, your inner sensual woman. And I'm going to show you why God loves that. I know that sounds crazy. People hate talking about sexual stuff and God. But let me tell you, the first godly act that we can have is to have sex, conceive a baby, and give birth to that child. So we try to downplay sex a lot. I don't like that. We need to stop doing that. We need to know that Christian organizations, maybe they didn't know what they were doing by suppressing the black woman, but it's time to stop. It's time to educate us, free us, liberate our bodies, and I have the tools to empower you naturally. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this channel is going to give you. And of course, we'll talk about all the taboo things, honey. All the slutty, smutty, sexy things, honey. We're going to get into pleasure, self-love, honey. Pleasing your partner, honey. We're going to get into being fruitful and fruit juice inside and out, Boogie. We're going to get it all. We're going to get to it all. And I'm going to be the one. to deliver that to you. I'll mix in some experts and have interviews. We'll do some street content. We'll do some DIY videos. We'll do some vlogs. We'll do it all. And we're going to do it here together. So stick beside me here. Stick beside me. I love you. This is my love language. So whether I am only answering your burning questions or diving into personal stories or just having a good chat and a good laugh, honey, this is the space for you. This is what this channel is all about. And it's a safe space. Now, why am I starting Talk Coochie to Me? And why now? So I am starting Talk Coochie to Me on this YouTube platform. One, because I give away so much free knowledge and I hate trying to sell things. But the reality is that in order for me to keep going, and have time to serve you with the right knowledge and spend time with the right experts and making these products, I have to make money. So I said, how can I get paid to do this free information without squeezing the pockets of my clients and my fans? And YouTube was the best way. So don't forget, I'm trying to monetize my channel, y'all. I need 1,000 subscribers. And I also need 4,000 watch minutes. So watch my videos. I'm going to be posting every week. Make sure you run it up, share, like, fall asleep to my shit playing. Sorry. Fall asleep to my stuff playing. Put it in your earbuds, let my voice lullaby you to sleep so we can get monetized, y'all. And I can really, really, really turn up the content, really, 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 really serve y'all with the love that you need and that you never had. Like, doctors left me astray, ran me amok. And really, that's why I do what I do. I've suffered a lot because I did not have bodily autonomy. I did not know how to advocate for myself. I did not take an extra step and investigate what the doctor told me. I just trusted it and then, whatever. But that wasn't the best, because a lot of times we put our trust in doctors, and I'm not saying that they're wrong, but there are some doctors that this is a business. It's a business for them, and it's hard to discuss because I love doctors. You'll find that out as well, but I have been betrayed by them, so I'm encouraging us all to take back our power. Why now, love? Why are you starting this channel now? Well, in the past, I have been thinking about it, but I was always intimidated by it. And I didn't really think that people wanted to hear this information, but I started going viral on my page about a month or two ago. And I felt like now was the time. Everybody's leaning into more herbal things, more holistic things. It's less strange to hear about how a woman stuck a sprig of lavender up her vagina to see how it went, It's more acceptable to talk about these things. And so it just seems like the iron was hot. So why not hit them edges? You know what I'm saying? But honestly, we need spaces where we can be real. And I like to keep it 100% real all the time. There's so much misinformation out there coming from people who don't look like us, who cannot halfway understand the experiences that we go through, our children go through, our bodies go through as Black women, melanin-rich women, or a woman in general. All three of those spaces need representation. And I want to make that a safe space for us all, no matter who you are. And I want to make sure I create a community where we can talk openly, share resources, and feel supported with each other. Women are such bullies to each other. Such bullies. We're the worst critics of each other. I'll talk about why I think that is. And we will get into that and hopefully try to dismantle a lot of the things that has kept women from uniting and therefore reducing our power and preventing us from being the real magnates and leaders that we are. And so I want you to know that this space is important to me for several reasons. And I want to get into my story and kind of roughly what brought me here, right? And so I remember, just quick run through, as a child, my sister and my mom used to have the worst period stuff. And then I remember at a young age, my mom needing to get a hysterectomy, which I didn't know what it was, but I felt like it was a big deal, some type of surgery, right? So I'm like, oh my God, my mom's got to get this surgery. And I don't know what it's all about, but I knew it wasn't good. I watched several family members go through what we now know to be endometriosis. And I was like, damn, why is this happening? We used to have the most painful periods. I just thought it was so normal. until I realized that it was not normal and that there were things that I can do. So fast forward, I had been living my life like it was golden. I had gotten married. I had started having children. And right after my last daughter in like 2010, I was just having the worst womb complications, y'all. Oh, it was just so bad. It was like the discharge was bad, the period blood bad, the yeast bad, itching all the time. I could never restore it. Once I got the metronidazole for the BV and the flagyl for the yeast, now I got strep throat. Or now I've got, some breakout from eczema. Y'all, it was just a revolving door. And I did not know why I was so susceptible to having this reoccurring BV. It was just like, it was the worst. It was the worst. So I was just like, how can I fix this? So after having my fourth child, the doctor is like, girl, you've got cervical cancer. I was like, why they didn't see that when I went and had this baby? Do they know I just went and had this baby? Like, what am I going to tell me? But I didn't realize that it didn't work like that. And so I was scared. I was 24 years old, y'all. They talking about a partial hysterectomy and extracting my cervix. And I'm like, bitch, because if I was going to get surgery, I would have got a BBL and some boobs a long time ago. And I just really believed in God that there was something that I could do to heal my body. So I started obsessing, y'all. And when I say obsessing, I started to obsess over herbal remedies and learning about, bodily functions as a woman, and like really understand what is necessary for my body to stay and remain healthy. And so it took some time. Not to mention during that time, I was separating from my partner. It was a rough time, honey. My body, I had lost like 60 pounds all of a sudden. I had all this sagging skin. It was just rough. And that's when the chronic BV started kicking in. At first, it was just the chronic yeast with a little BV on the side, But then it was real, true BV. Like, it would smell so bad, I can't even describe the smell sometimes. And I would just try everything, y'all. I was taking baths in capsules of bleach and all types of shit. Dish liquid and stuff. Just doing anything that I could to, like, freshen my girl up. And I just really couldn't. I didn't know what was wrong. And I did know. Like, subliminally in my mind, I knew it was that diagnosis, like, hawking me down. And I was just so scared. I was in and out of shelters at this time. So it's like I didn't really have the proper facilities to care for my body. No tools. And every time I went to the doctor, the revolving door of strep throat and yeast infections just keep going around and around. And I thought it was about sex. But the whole time I was in the shelter, I wasn't having any sex. I was leaving my partner. He and I wasn't having any sex anymore. But baby, that thing was angry. You hear me? So I had to get to the bottom of it. And I didn't know that this would bring me to a higher calling of like what I'm doing now, how I make history all over the world and it really just opened me up to trusting God. So I went and I dedicated my life. This was like rededicated, right? Because I grew up in the church. So I had already dedicated my life in the whole brainwashing they make us do. Nevertheless, so I rededicate my life, right? And I'm like, God, whatever you'll have for me, I'll do. Now, this is like 2014, y'all. I meet a person. They give me this Queen of Four book, and I start going in on that. And at the time, y'all, my period was coming on for 22 days. $22 out of the month. I was bleeding so much. I had just declared I was the woman with the issue of blood, amen, because ain't no way. Ain't no way a person bleeds 22 days. I would go to the doctor. They wouldn't tell me no answers. Y'all, and one day I had this hippie doctor at the health clinic in Charlotte, North Carolina, when I was fleeing my domestic violence marriage. And she said, what kind of soap do you use? Because it's your third time coming back for BV. I said, oh, I love Enchanted Orchid by Olive Olay. Who remembers Enchanted Orchid? Raise your hands in the comment. I used to be an Enchanted Orchid girly. Yes. So my mom bought that. That's what she had. And Caress. She used to use that too. And she said, that's your problem. See, what you're doing here is you're introducing fragrance to your microbiome. Okay, this lady starts talking about stuff I ain't know nothing about. I'm 20 some years old. I'm like, microbiome? Ash Jeeves. I don't remember what was out at the time. But yeah, she was like, that soap, the fragrance, chemicals, they disrupt your microbiome. I'll challenge you to stop using soap on your vagina or find an unscented version, and it will change your vaginal atmosphere or whatever. So I'm like, let's give it a go, you know? So I did that, and I stopped getting BV as much. I was like, oh, this was on to something. So I go back to her, and I say, she's like, you haven't been back, so the soap worked. I said, it absolutely did. I said, let me ask you, is there anything else that can be chemicals that trigger yeast? And she said, no, not chemicals, but sugar. And soy. Oh my God. Do y'all know what in 2 ingredients is in pretty much every food product, processed or unprocessed? That's right. You guessed it. It is sugar and soy, y'all. Oh my God. Soybean oil, soy, tofu, blah, blah, blah. That there is soy in a lot of things. Meat products, a lot of processed things. Milk, everything, a lot of stuff. So I said, okay. So I cut out a lot of things that has soybean oil, right? And pea protein. And then I cut the sugar down, and I only ate fruit when I had sugar cravings for like 30 days. And boom, the yeast was gone. I was like, wait a minute. So I go up to the clinic again, and she's gone. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to cue that music. Y'all, when I say she left, I don't know where she went. And of course, they don't tell you where the people go. They're like, oh, you got a new physician. I'm like, where's my old hippie physician? Where's the one with the moccasins and the flowy pants? Where's she at? They didn't tell me. And I was like, okay, girl, you're on your own. Y'all, I was lost and turned out. I was like, this bitch been helping me heal something. And I had one more question I was going to ask her next about my really long periods. And she was gone. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Right. And so I said, I got to study this on my own. So I took some certifications. I got an anatomy class, a biology class. I started taking chemistry classes online. At the library. I started taking herbalism classes online. And I just started getting all these certifications, y'all. Every certification I can. Biology, anatomy, like everything. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's basically like all the baseline information you need to know about those subjects. You can get a certification that certifies you in a certain level of knowledge around biology. So it's not exactly a degree, but it is a form of track record to prove that you have studied these things, and it gives you the experience. It's not like I had a fly-by-night course. Like, I had to actually do things and send in pictures of the results and blah, blah. So I did that, and while all of that was going on, I still was having the bleeding. So no more BV, no more chronic yeast, but the bleeding was still happening. I meet a partner. He gives me the Queen of Full book, and then we're dating, and he wants to have a baby. Well, honey, guess what? She won't get pregnant. I was like, what is going on? Now, that's one thing I could do with 5 kids and miscarriages and all that. Baby, one thing she could do is get pregnant. Yeah. That's a magic trick that I sometimes don't wish that I have. Amen. That thing gonna get pregnant. You could look at that thing incorrectly. It's pregnant. Amen. You could spit. You could spit in that thing's direction. That thing is 9 months gestation. So somebody hear me? I was just like, okay, you know what? This is crazy. I'm not getting pregnant. Quite weird. So I said, okay, this is probably why I'm bleeding all ththese days. Because now I'm done with the doctor. I don't know. In my mind, they fired my favorite doctor. And now I'm done. I don't trust them. Because all of my years of going to the doctor since I was a child, no one has ever told me what this lady told me. So I feel betrayed. They didn't fire my girl, right? And so I just was like, okay, I got this. I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to figure this out. So the Queen of Fool books came, and he was like, he just gave it to me. He was real esoteric, y'all. We're going to talk about him a little more, because he actually helped me to unearth a lot of this that I have. And he didn't give it to me, but he helped my receptors pick it up. Amen. So he gives me the book. I pull up with my girls. I'm like, look, y'all, we got to get into this book. They agreed. I don't know why people just be listening to me. And so I started the Sacred Seed Womb Circle. That was December the 6th, 2016. 14 actually. And at first it was just me and my ladies. I'm gonna drop some pictures so y'all can see us. Yeah, it was me and my ladies, and we just thoroughly enjoyed everything about what we were doing. Like, oh my God, it was just every Sunday we met. Sister Sankofa, Mama Sankofa, peace and blessings. I miss you. I love you wherever your spirit is. If it dwells with us on earth, if it is transcended, I love you. I hope you hear this. But you taught me a lot, and you gave me my first place to have womb circles. And so we started the womb circles, and they were going great, because I needed somebody to be accountable with me. Because, you know, you steam one day, you following the principles, right? You waking up 4 a.m, you doing your 12 a.m. prayers, you doing your sacred bath, you doing your meditations, you doing your incantations, your Mayat principles, and then a week later something happens and you thrown off. So I said, I need a group that meet once a week to hold me accountable. And that's what I did. I started the Sacred Seed, and everybody loved it, but everybody in the group was mature. And I was like, okay, y'all, I know y'all want to get it. 50s, 60s. I know y'all want to get it, but I need to reach younger crowds. In the midst of that, I had spent some time with the Oracle, y'all. Now, it's so mystical and magical out there in North Carolina. Any North Carolinians, please wave to me in the comment. Introduce yourselves. I want to meet y'all. I want to meet everybody. So please tell me who you are in the comments. And, share with me a little bit about why you here or why you F with my content. Anyway, so in North Carolina, I spent some time with a Oracle. She was amazing. Her name was Kelly. And during that time, I found out I was like a womb reader, and I didn't know what that was, because, like, y'all see Sexy Red? I'm from St. Louis, baby. Everybody from St. Louis pretty much is, well, at my time, giving Sexy Red, baby. The lashes, the weaves, the long nails, the scantily cladness, the tats. I mean, we just are a different type of breed. Don't judge us. Love us. We listen and we don't judge. Okay? But as a professional womb specialist, I think it is important for me to preface that I'm a normal girl in this coochie world. And I'm a real girl, and I just had to learn my way in how to make history, how to put myself in positions to go across the country and talk about vagina and still be my authentic self. Throw the code switching in the trash. You see the naps up there, they napping. I'm thinking about cutting them, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so here I am, unconvinced, not really that spiritual, more religious, and this Oracle just opened up my world, and she used me to do it. Like, it wasn't like she spun a magical web and was like, look at that. She would ask me questions about myself, and then the next day something would happen that would reveal the answer. Another story time. And so during that time, she said, what do you do? God told me you got a spiritual gift. And at the time, I was making like crystal beads, and I was Reiki infusing the beads, and the beads was healing people. Now, y'all, I didn't know that was going on, but I found out on accident. I'm thinking I'm just making some jewelry to sell at the flea market, honey. She was just trying to get it out the mud. Come to find out, y'all, these bracelets was like doing stuff, like positive things, but things that I never knew could happen. And so this Oracle had heard about those things, and she was like, you do something. And I said, I think I read wombs. Y'all, I don't know what I was saying. I don't know. I was high. Maybe I was high. I don't know, but I don't recall why I said that. So she went away, researched, and she like, girl, do you know that don't nobody else do that? I was like, I didn't even know that I was doing it. When you asked me, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. So she set me up with this beautiful lady. We're going to call that lady Bunny. And Bunny lived in Texas. And Bunny was like, her period had been missing for 5 years. And they was like, if you're any good at this, it's going to help her. So they locked me in the spirit room. They ain't locked me in there, but they said, go in the healing room. So they had this room that they attuned, and it was all magical with crystals, and you could just go in there and be peace. And they said, go in there, and you're going to talk to her over the phone. and we're going to see what happens. So I spend an hour. I think she paid me $50, y'all. 2 hours later, after getting off the phone, she called me and said, love, you will not believe my period started. Y'all, I couldn't believe it, because that was my first time doing it. I never knew that I had like a gift with the womb like that, right? Until then. And this lady who I did a reading for, y'all, toughest cookie. Tough cookie, baby. I respect her. Shouts out to her. She knows who she is. But she's a tough cookie. She's not gonna lie for you. She gonna tell you the truth, even if it hurts. Real woman I respect. And she said, love did that. I'm telling you, I haven't seen my period in 5 years. And when I say it's on and it ain't coming off. So I said, okay, I got something here. But I had to look at that, right? And look at all the things that I had been through in my personal womb journey and just decide, like, God has something in store, honey. It was something in store, and it needed me to have a suffering period where I could learn, and it needed for me to elevate out of the darkness myself, like really climb out the pit so I can teach other women how not to be a slave to their womb issues and how not to feel alone and how not to feel ashamed. So that's what we're here to do. Talk Coochie to me is going to destigmatize your vagina, and for the best, because it's time. It's beyond time. It's overdue. And so when I left North Carolina to come back here, it was to fight my very wealthy ex-husband in court to have access to my children, which is another story we'll get into. I was like, ooh, baby, people in St. Louis do not want this. And I don't look like Sexy Red no more. I'm sitting up here with nappy locks, and I'm wearing a turban. And at the time, I used to have all these little jewels in my hair because my locks used to be like throwing up gang signs. So I used to put like stuff on them to make them lay down. So I used to have all these jewels and shit. And so they looking at her like the Floyd Material lady cool. She always smelled like incense and sage, but whatever, you know. And I started getting on open mics because I came from a place where in Charlotte, they're so mystical. They down for that. You could do some readings. You could be a corner tarot reader and you'll get business. And so when I came here, that wasn't the case. Like, people were like, don't tell me about, don't come over here with that. Are you Jesus? You know, that energy. So I would get on the stage on the open mic and just be funny, my charismatic self, talk about how you need to take a sit down bath, soak that thing 20 minutes, or, you know, just little funny shit that I just would throw in there as a way to like help people digest the truth around their vaginal health and like give them something to leave with that day. And y'all, I got an influx of support. Men would call and be like, I put my wife on to you. She had PCOS. Now we having sex. She's happy. We got us a baby on the way. You know, I'm just happy to be able to flex that muscle and bring it to you all. And maybe you will appreciate my wares. And as I fight through cervical cancer diagnoses that they tried to deal me back in 2013, I will share with you everything that I've done up until this point to maintain that health, because it's a fight every day. And sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad ones, but every day I live for this coochie shit every day, y'all. So don't get it twisted. It's my purpose, it's my calling. God called me to this, and I have been willing and ready, and now is the time. It is now the time. So make sure you share, make sure you subscribe so you can put the gang on. You know, it's time, ladies. It is really time to take our power back. We're going to be regulating periods. We're going to be taking vitamins to usher out late cycle. As we can see all the threats going on with IVF, abortion, and bodily autonomy, baby, it is just important that each and every one of us knows how to manage our vaginal health and wellness and wealth. Come on, somebody. And so my call to action for all of you is to subscribe. Subscribe. I am so excited to have y'all on this journey with me. So I want you to turn on your notification bells. So every time I drop something, you're aware. I don't want to keep it from you. I'm not gatekeeping over here. So turn on your notifications and drop a comment below. Introduce yourself. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me something you might want to hear more about. And use one of the links. Catch a form to be a guest on my show, or submit an anonymous story for Couture Chronicles, honey. Ask me to DIY something here for you so you can learn how to do it yourself. Whatever you want, I got it. And I'm so happy to give it. And I feel like God gave it to me so that I could give it. And I'm going to let my pain speak as my purpose. I'm not going to allow it to cause more pain and shame and stigma. I'm going to free myself. And I'm going to free all of us too. So come along with me. Don't forget, go follow me on Instagram at The Sacred Lotus. I haven't started posting there yet, but I will. So keep an eye out for me. Let me know what you want to hear. Let me know what you want me to cover in our next video. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to launch, y'all. So, thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to talk coochie with all of you. I can't wait to heal, get the results, hear the reviews, watch the videos, get the tags. I'm proud of each and every one of you for taking a step towards your real wellness and health. And I cannot wait for us to rise up a strong nation of beautiful, empowered women, not just wealthy in finance and material things, but health and wealth for sure. And so this is Dr. Love, the Pussy Priestess, and I'm signing off. I'll see you soon, but make sure you remember your body, your rules, your power. Peace.